All right, so today we're doing a head-to-head showdown of the Audient ID4 Mark II versus the Audient ID44. I think you might be surprised. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Low for Low Nose Tech, and like I said before, we're doing a showdown of the Audient ID4 Mark II versus the Audient ID44. ID44, there's no Mark 1. This is a $200 interface versus a $600 audio interface. And of course, the star of our show today, or the one helping us out, is the Neumann TLM49. This is a $1,600 microphone. So you're going to see what kind of flavor we're getting from this microphone between these two audio interfaces. Now, let's talk about the obvious so far. Right now, we're starting this comparison with the Audient ID4, the Mark II, as you can see from the blinking lights. And you can see these are completely two different devices, right? Same name, but completely two different animals, two different beasts. You can just see by the back of the innards, right? This is a one-channel, one input in audio device, and of course, you have your instrument as well. And you have your two outs as well for your monitor speakers. And if we have, our ID button, our monitors, and of course our one dial here. Moving over to our Audient ID44, just look at the back. I mean, we've got 4 mic inputs, additional with line-ins, and of course some other outs as well. Optical, ADAT, SPDIF, and all that stuff. It's a full-featured audio interface for a professional studio. We've got our 4 knobs for our individual channels. We have our 48 volts we got one 48 volt here, a 10 decibel pad that this does not have, and of course our low cut filter, our high pass filter that this doesn't offer. So for this comparison, we will not be using a high pass filter for the between these two. Of course, you've got our meter right here, and of course we have our dial here that controls our output of our monitor system as well as other things, and we have 2 individual headphone knobs. This one you only have 1, and of course we have our extended features for this as well. Now we just went over the features or the gadgets and gizmos of the audio interfaces, but really hear all about the sound, the preamps. What's the preamp sound comparison to these between these two interfaces? Now, first, let's take a look. Right now, if I can tell you, I'm probably within my interface here. I'm probably peaking around -18 between -12 decibels, and I feel like before this test, or I did my own little test before this video, that felt like the most comfortable level as well. Now within the recording software, and this is weird, I'm not really familiar with Audition. I'm mostly a Pro Tools guy. But of course, I'm trying to hit that comfortable level of -12 decibels. But within Audition, it's showing us it's peaking at like -9 decibels. So it's almost like Audition is adding an extra 4 dB or initial 5 dB of gain from here into Audition. So I just want to have you keep that in mind, and we'll see that happening with this as well. All right, so I'm pretty sure I've given you a really hefty good sample size of what the Audient ID44 Mark II sounds like. Now let's switch over to the ID44. And let's make that happen. All right, so now we're listening to the TLM49 on the Audient ID44, and right now you can really get your preference of what you like, or you can really tell the difference, but we'll keep going some more. And if you can see the dial right here within our meter, right? Again, the same thing. I'm probably peaking at between -18 and -12 decibels. And for some reason, Audition always shows a +4 or +5 decibel increase to the signal. But my comparison, I'm trying to get them right here. Let's take a look at the dials real quick. As you can see, for the ID44, we're probably at I have to power this thing to get the same level, to get the same levels. We're powering this at probably between 3 and 4 o'clock, where this one is probably between 2 and 3 o'clock. So off the bat, I can tell you that the Audient ID4, the gains are just a lot more stronger. They are, obviously, strong. The gains. The preamps are just a lot more stronger compared to the Audient ID4, which is really interesting because the Audient ID4 has its own power cable, or its AC adapter, as you can see right here, where this one is just powered completely by USB-C, but USB-C, and this one does use a USB-C connection, but it doesn't have the USB-C specs. Even though this is USB-C, it's really a USB 2.0 spec. So of course you're gonna need the power adapter to actually feed it. Obviously, it's just not about how what kind of power you can get from the preamp as far as like powering your microphone unit. That's cool and all, but it's really all about signal to noise ratio, and if you're getting a clean sound. Now, the Audient ID44, this is my main daily driver for professional voiceovers and everything. I do everything from this bad boy right now, and I really hope it's not affecting the review right now, because my laptop, the fans are blaring really loud right now. So hopefully it's not too bad, because I know the TLM49 is a really sensitive microphone. Okay, so but we'll try to get through this. It's not all about the power of the preamps, it's really the signal to noise ratio. So the more I push these amps, is the noise level from the audio's interfaces that being brought up. Now, I've done several videos on the ID44, the ID4 Mark II, and I feel like this one does a great job as far as going back and forth between, it does a great job as far as the noise ratio within the audio interface. I feel like the preamps are super quiet. They're powerful and they're quiet. When it comes to the ID44, they're quiet but not super powerful. And I really can't tell you why. Yeah, the ID44 has a buttload of additional features, but for some reason, the preamps on this one is just strong. Is it because of the power interface that I just told you about between the AC adapter and the USB-C spec, or not? Now, in a previous video where I'll link up here, I did say that I got the ID44. I got the ID4 because I wanted something comparable to the ID44 as far as the preamp sound. And when I was doing my test going back and forth, man, I tried really hard listening for a difference. And throughout this video, you may find your own little difference as well. The background's different. I may be a little up and closer away from the microphone, whatever. But through my extensive tests going back and forth, the Audient ID4 Mark II compared to the ID44, they sound very, very, very similar, almost negligible. And that negligible difference would be adjusting the gain knobs, trying to make it as close as possible. And that's always subjective. You're always going to be tinkering back and forth trying to get the same. But these settings right here, where I have it right now, this is as close as I could get it to the same thing. So yeah. So if I had to choose one or the other, which one would it be? Which one would it be? I'll tell you right now. Well, as you can see from the wire and within the interface, I picked the ID4, the Mark II. Why would I pick it? Well, it's really numbers, and it's kind of like simple, right? $200, $600. To tell you the truth, I've been using this for almost a year, and while I love it, while it's fantastic, I barely use any of the features that comes with this thing. I mean, you would have to really have a complex setup. You would have to really plan a complex setup to really fully utilize the features of this device. Now, while it sounds great, while I'll be using this for a while because it cost me a pretty penny, man, if I were to have got, if they put the preamps in here into something as comparable as the ID4 Mark II, that's giving me the same kind of, I feel like really close to the same kind of audio quality, then damn, this is a steal. And if not getting the Mark II, maybe I just might go up to the ID14, the Mark II, right? So I can just have a little more options as far as like maybe a second input, a dedicated headphone knob. But yeah, it's overall, the upgrade on the ID4, the Mark II, is really good. Yeah, so what am I saying? If you're into content creation, live stream, or simple voiceovers, right? Even if you're doing professional voiceovers, you don't need like $1,000 interface. Honestly, you really don't. It's all about your environment, your microphone, and a quiet environment and a good microphone, and of course your capability. But yeah, you don't need a mega rig interface. If you're getting this, you're really just kind of enjoying the fruits of your labors. So save the money, spend $200, $300 on a good interface such as the ID4, the Mark II, or the 14 Mark II. And if you really need all the bells and whistles of this, then go ahead and get it. But man, this does a great job. It sounds great. The audio differences were very negligible. It handled the $600 microphone just fine, and I'm loving what I got. yeah, so yeah, I really hope this helped you out. I hope this was a very interesting comparison for you. And yeah, hope you got something out of it. All right, guys, if you liked it, go ahead, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And as always, guys, no matter what happens, learn, do, ensure. I will see you in the next video. All right, take care, guys. Bye. Wow, if you were around before you came, I mean, no, I'm not gonna push you away, but you know, yeah, I'll just bring you in closer because I still love you.